Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing this afternoon? This is Time for Sleep, mental veterans mental health podcast, and this is your host, Petty Officer Upshur, the real deal, the real podcast. There's no other like this brother. Now we're going to be discussing a few things. What I wanted to call the episode was "What Did I Miss?" So I'm gonna go into what you may have missed because this podcast is for real, truthful, and it is for healing. Today's primary title for our podcast: the process and the outcome, breaking the cycle of mental health and addiction, moving past it, moving forward with your life so that you are able to understand what is taking place. I got a little darkness over here on. Let's see what's going on over here. That's just one of my other outlets, but they don't really need to see me. They could just listen to the show. Let's dive right in. From survival to stability. Now, what we're going to need to know and what we're going to discuss in this episode, we're going to dive deep into the real journey of healing, not just the outcome. If you can't have an outcome before you have a beginning, but the process it takes to overcome mental health challenges and addiction is very vast. Now, for many veterans, and I always include first responders and individuals alike, the battle doesn't end when the uniform comes off. Drama, depression, anxiety, and substance use often become a silent struggle that impacts daily lives, relationships, and your own personal identity. Now, what would be here for a second? Let's dive right into it. I was had some nice, soothing music in the background because my podcast is designed for reset. So, if you're listening to that, I could have some music, but this episode isn't about music. We'll do that later on in the evening. A little rain in the background is soothing to the mind as we going through this episode. Now, we're going to break down the conversation. Excuse me. What the recovery process actually looks like. Why relapse can be a part of growth, not failure. Because I was in my group meeting today, and my counselor, which I didn't particularly agree with him about it, by saying relapsing is not part of recovery. Yes, it is. You're going to have nobody out there that's perfect. They're going to do things perfectly the way it's by the book. Life doesn't work that way. People aren't built that way. The connection between mental health and addiction, tools and strategies that support long-term healing. Long-term healing. You're going to be healing for the rest of your life. This is not temporary. Hold up. This thing, what I'm always faced with all the time is dead batteries and things not going as planned. Give me one moment here. I see the pictures messing up. I'm on a few platforms. It's the way that I work with my podcast. I try to reach everyone, whether or not I just get to help one person or I get to help many. I am being helpful to the community, helping people heal through this process through my tips, through my inspiration, through my information that I'm giving you. Okay, how to move from survival mode into stability and purpose. This episode is for everyone who feels stuck, anyone supporting someone in recovery, and anyone ready to understand that healing is not a straight line, it's a process. So when you listen to all these other podcasts and these other fools, somebody may be 19 trying to discuss mental health, go sit down somewhere. Get some life experience before you go out and discuss it. Go to school. Learn. Learn about addiction. People with addiction. Experiences with a person that was in addiction. Don't just jump on and just try to think you're following up so you can get to your young followers to listen to you because you don't know what you're talking about. This podcast is for real. It's the real deal. You get what you want out of it. It is solemnly up to you. These are tips and informative information for you to try to use some of these tips to incorporate into your lifestyle because these are proven facts and that they do work. They work for millions and millions of people. So if you decide you want to go into recovery or your mental health is getting out of control and you want to find ways to deal with it, then use some of these tips or seek professional help. Uh, Seek a psychologist, your own medical doctor, whatever remedies and medicines that they have for you. You also can follow those steps and tips, but you have to start the process if you're going to get an outcome. Now, welcome to my show, Petty Officer Upshur. This is a veteran's mental health podcast coming to you from Steel Light Studios. Now, we're talking about something real, something that affects millions of people, especially in the veteran community, and that's the connection between mental health and addiction. This episode is called Process and the Outcome. Let's dive into it. What did we miss? And this is what you missed from the last show, that last episode, but you can bring it up on my Facebook, on my YouTube channel. That's at Kerwin330. And you can watch plenty of episodes. I'm still becoming what you would call not a Howard Stern of podcast mental health, but I'm going to try to get there. And as long as I am able to help people and help them process this, then we're all on the right page. Okay? Because too often people only see the outcome. That's all they're looking for is temporary solution for right now. Like, I just want to just stop doing what I'm doing, because I'm doing too much. No, it does not work that way. It is a process to see an outcome of sobriety, stability, success, but they don't understand the process it takes to get there. They just want it, just like the younger ones do, often and always, overnight. An overnight solution doesn't work that way. Sorry. And the truth is, The process is where the real work happens. That's why a lot of people want to take shortcuts. Y'all know who you are. There's no shortcut. Either you want to stop and you want to recover from what ails you. I'm not saying everybody is an addict, but you will have addictive ways. That's what becomes, that's how an addict becomes an addict with his addictive ways, his addictive use of substances. It's something that you're using to cope, and you're doing it on a continuous basis. That becomes an addictive habit. Let's start with this process. Healing is not instant, just like I just mentioned. Mental health challenges like depression, PTSD, anxiety, they don't disappear if you've noticed. And addiction isn't just substances, it's about coping. People use certain substances and alcohol to cope with situations and problems. For many people, addiction starts as a solution. It's a way to numb from pain. It's a way to escape trauma. But you know, a lot of women, a lot of kids, a lot of teenagers, they go through trauma even just being raised by certain types of parents. You know, that could be real traumatizing to a kid. And when they grow up, more than a not, they're going to treat their kids the same way. If you notice how loud some mothers get with their children, then if you that mother thinks back when she was being raised, her mother yelled and screamed at her too, and she's just passing it on. You need to break that cycle. You need to be more loving and caring on how you speak to your child. That's just my point of view. You don't have to listen to me, but it will work. The way to feel something, the way to feel something or feel nothing. For some people, don't actually want to feel anything. They just want to be numb. And not, it's nothing wrong with not caring. That's your right. You can care or not care about your life or anybody else's life around you. That is your right as a person. You make your own choices. Okay? But over time, that solution becomes the problem. Now, when it becomes the problem, what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? Is maybe the question. How you're going to go about it if you don't have the tools, if nobody's trying to show you the way, or you're not around the people that can show you the way and interested in helping you. Because if you're not interested in helping yourself, you can see people just stay away from you. It's just what they do because uh, they want to stay as far away from you as possible because of your behavior. That behavior is not attractive to anyone. And the process of healing begins when a person recognizes what I have been doing is no longer working. So maybe this might apply to people that says, I don't need no help. I can do this on my own. You know, I used to think that way too for a long time. And what I did was I just cut back on everything. Stop doing now. I didn't hang around a bunch of group of people, so I didn't really have a problem with some people assisting in my alcoholism or any substance abuse, like some of y'all do. Just check out some of your friends sometime when you in a group and you go out with them. Check out their behavior when they're around you, how they're always trying to get everybody to do everything that they want to do, that they want to do but not what the group wants to do. They always want they always want to try to be the fake leader. Oh, well, we gonna get shots. We can have more shots. Or, or you soft. You can't drink. Don't listen to that fool. You stay far away from that fool because misery loves company, and they are miserable. They're trying to hide something that they're coping with. You just check them out for a minute or two. Just step back. Don't say anything. Just listen. Just observe them. Excuse me. And you will see my exact point as just how they are. Now, mental health and addiction often feeds each other. If you see somebody, especially an old relative, you know, that was in the service, he might have been a Marine or a soldier, and he's been through combat and stuff, you know, you can kind of see the pain. And then that's when you want to use things to eliminate that pain, even if briefly. You use things to get worse. Using these things does make you get worse. It does not make you get better. Because if you're not trying to erase this pain with substances and alcohol, things get worse. You feel more pain when you come down. And that loop continues. If you notice, it just keeps going round and round. It's like when you used to just get a little bit of drinking, like on payday weekend, you know, but then payday turned into payday weekend to every weekend. Then you calling people up, hey man, what you doing? Because what you doing now, the isolation is getting to you because now you don't give me that. I don't like drinking by myself. Don't listen to those fools. You are capable of making your own choices. I don't want to hear, oh, you need us to help you drink because you want to drink. Yeah, right. Yeah, but you see what I mean when you be around some of those people. For veterans, this could be even deeper. It could be, like I was mentioning, combat trauma, their loss of identity after service. See, servicemen are so used to a structured environment. It's very hard for them to adjust when they come into civilian life, right? And want to get on a job where everybody's, always clowning around. Nobody's taking anything serious as servicemen in this structured environment. This is they take their job seriously because somebody could get hurt or somebody could get killed. So that's their mindset that they have. And it's not that they're no nonsense or that they're not playful. It's just that they have been in a serious structure in the military. It's not like some little ordinary business running around and everybody whistling or cat calling women or trying to insult them. You know, they're not used to that. They're not used. They want when they come out. They also want to obtain that structure. Their identity is lost when it's taken away from them because they're so used to it. That's why it's so difficult for them transcending into civilian life. It's very difficult. I had a hard time way back. You know, I didn't know what to do, but what I did, what some of them should do, if they can, if their mind is in a position to, please go back to school, learn to adjust. This way you can learn to adjust you've always been in the military structure. College is structure. It's an environment you can thrive in because it's continuing to learn. Just like when you're in the service, you practice, making yourself better, making yourself an expert at what you are doing every day. today, like in the military, you can also find that structure in going back to college. I know a lot of it is impersonal nowadays because you do everything online and then see you at home, and then you're falling right back into the same isolation trap, which is not it's not healthy for you. You want to see get into the school. You can come home and be by yourself later. So the question becomes, how do you break the cycle? How do you do that? You need ways. You have to have a plan, and you're gonna need a lot of help. You're gonna need your doctors and psychologists. You're gonna need to be in groups. You need to be in people that feel the same way that you do, act the same way that you act, not exactly, each other. But to hear their stories that are similar to your stories, not the exact story, you know. But you will get the feeling that you're not in this alone. Man, I don't like that too. That's where I'm getting at with this. Recovery is not one direction. It is a series of decisions. You got to make a lot of decisions when you're trying to find a place yourself in recovery. Because a lot of servicemen, we come out, I don't know, nowadays, we got a little different breed. They're not a breed of drinkers like they were when I was in, because nobody really openly does substances like every time they got off. But they drank a lot when we got off work. So, and it did uh, start becoming a problem. But for me, I was trying to cope with and process racism as when I'm very young, because I went into service on my 17th birthday. So in actuality, I was only 16. And what they put me through traumatized the hell out of me. And but what I did? I did not let it affect me to the point to where I could not function. You know, I just worked through it. I drank through it. I found ways to cope, which weren't the right ways. You know, and back then, you're going to have these, excuse my French, uh, these clear people pay you any attention as a psychologist. They were seriously indifferent to black people. They did not care whether they had to help you or not. It's not like this day and age. It's different. And then again, this day and age, it's all about finances anyway. How are they getting paid to do this? But I'm a veteran, so I get all of my medical doctors, psychologists, and all of those. I get those free. But a lot of people don't, so they don't have that financial ability to uh, go to hospitals with some of their jobs, because they got some real weak uh, medical plans on a lot of these jobs, and you got to pay so much money into it, and you don't really get anything out of it. So you're going to have to seek other avenues to help yourself, or whatever is affordable for you to do. Just take steps to get there, but you will need help. You got to have that help. We're going to break down the process into stages. Okay, let's do this. Stage one, awareness. You realize something is wrong. Number two, acceptance. You stop denying it. Number three, action. You seek help, therapy, support groups, medical treatment. Because a lot of us, for some, some medications do help with some mental ailments that you're dealing with like, especially with the thoughts, that you can't get out of your head. Sometimes you just need it. This is not for everybody. I'm talking about service members and first responders that really need this medication. Okay. And four is relapse. Sometimes it does happen. It does happen. You are not perfect. Let's be real. Relapse can happen. You're going to have a lot of counselors, especially veteran counselors. They're a little young in the game. And to them, their only thing is, you chose to do this. And that they have to understand when you have addictive ways, it's not just choosing to do that. You're helpless. You are helpless. You're trying to fight. You're fighting yourself. You're trying to recover and fight yourself is not an easy thing to do. Just fighting your own personal addiction is not an easy thing. It's not going to just happen. It's not. You can't just turn it off like a switch and expect you not to do anything anymore because you don't want to. Doesn't work like that. It's a process and steps you have to take to get there. Now, but relapse, because a lot of people that been in recovery for long, long periods of time, and then something sets them off, make them mad, or something on the job, they lost their job, and then they relapse. And then some people think it's like really, really serious, really like the end of the world for them. They take it that seriously, but it is not failure. Uh, you can start over. It's not the end of the world. You don't have to think, oh my God, I threw all of. No, you didn't throw anything away. It's still there. You still got that time. You just relapse. Time is not just going to disappear because you took a drink. No, it's not. You want to speak to sponsors. You want to keep going over your 12 steps again. Do the process over and over again. It doesn't matter. Start it again. You still have that time. Now you can just add more time to that time. That's all you're doing. It's not the end of the world. It's not failure. It's information. It's information that you're feeding yourself, that you're telling yourself you are all new. You are human. You will make mistakes. You are not perfect. Recovery is not perfect. None of the steps are perfect. It's nothing is designed to be perfect or work perfect. It's the things that you do in it to perfect it, but not be perfect at it. You're just perfecting your own personal recovery is what you're doing. What you're going to need to do, number 5, rebuilding. That's what I was just discussing. You want to just start rebuilding again and just going back over what happened. And then you need to figure out what caused you to relapse. And maybe you can figure it out so you can figure out the steps you can take so that you don't have to relapse no more. If you don't want to you don't want to drink or use substances anymore. You got to figure out what's your triggers that's triggering you back. With some people, it's an bliss. It's the worst of the worst, the bottom of the bottom for them. And they don't ever want to go back, ever. That's fine. A lot of people don't get there. You're not going to get there right away. They got people been recovering for 25, 30 years, still ain't there. Still, every once in a while, still get an urge they got to fight. It's going to happen. Recovery is not perfect. You want to start creating new habits again, a new environment, and let that environment cause the trigger in you that sets you off. Okay? You want a new mindset. Or if the old mindset was working, but you just had this minor slip that you didn't really realize. Some people don't even realize that they slip, but then they catch themselves. And then again, you got some that just go further. Oh, well, I relapsed. What the hell? No, you got to start. Don't go back to old habits. Need new habits if you're going to try to heal. Recovery is about healing. Please remember this. Write it down. Put it in your phone. Write it on your wall. Put it in your TV. Put it in your computer. This is the hardest part because it requires consistency. So when you're starting to rebuild, the people that want to rebuild because they felt as though I have taken this too far. Now, this is not for everybody. I'm not saying everybody's a bunch of alcoholics and drunk. No, I'm not. I'm not saying that you're on the path of alcoholism. You are going to be the only one that's going to determine that when you find out why you're using substances in the first place or alcohol. Are you now? You can be using fun, partying. By all means, enjoy your life. But if like some of people that have uh, finding excuses to use it to cope, then you're going to fall in addictive habits. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you're going to be an addict. I'm not saying you're not. That's solemnly up to you on how you are coping with using substances. Remember, remind yourself of that. Now, we're going to get into the outcome because I know a lot of people. I wanted to myself. Forget the process. What's the outcome? What am I getting out of it? What I know people always want. They always want to know the ending before the beginning. It's just crazy. It's just like a book. You know, you'll see some people will read the ending before they read the book because uh, they want to know. They only want to read the intro. They'll flip it over to the back and read uh, the ending part before they go into the intro. But that's some people. That's not everybody. But because plenty of people write books, and and most of them are very informative, intriguing, uh, suspenseful, whatever you want to read is for you if reading is your thing. Okay, people don't really do paperbacks no more because they got phones. Okay, now let's talk about the outcome. After we went through these process, we took the steps. We went to our groups. We went to the AA meetings, AD meetings, or AAD meetings, and some of us, if you're following those 12 steps, you know you're going to have to get a sponsor. You're going to have to get someone that you're going to be able to talk to. That's the way that process works. That you have the group, you have groups you can get in to be around people that were in your same position, were in a position like yours, not your same position like yours that you could relate to, have a discussion with, and you can ask them questions how they dealt with it and how they're dealing with recovery and how it's working for them. You can also ask them those questions to get that feedback. Okay, the outcome is stability. Number one, stability. Number two, awareness. Number three, control. And number four, purpose. You gotta have a purpose to get an outcome. You can't just have an outcome. without stability, awareness, control, and a purpose for getting this outcome. What are you going to do with it? That's what the outcome. What did I get out of it? Is it really working for me? What can I do to continue to make it work? That's stability, awareness, being aware, person, place, and thing. Am I staying away from certain people, certain places? That's going to trigger me to do what I've been want to stop doing. You got to look out for that. Do I have self-control? That's like when you're with the family at the barbecue and everybody's drinking around it, even though you're in recovery. Do you have the self-control not to pick up? That's a big one, and that's very hard for a lot of people because family members are very always enticing another family member to do what they're doing. Always happens all the damn time. That's why you be like, man, I hate to go. You don't have to go. You can tell them, no, I'm not coming this year. You know, you don't have to tell them your business. Because, see, a lot of people, soon as you tell somebody you don't drink no more or you don't do this, that's when here they come. Always come down. They come up with excuses why you should do it because they still doing it. Now they want to try to treat you like, oh, well, you want to be different. You damn right I want to be different. I'm being different for me, not for you. I'm not doing this for you. I don't give a darn about your opinion of what I want to do with my life. Remember that, especially the younger ones. These are the adults in their 30s and 40s. And y'all really need to start staying away from these real younger girls. It's just for that y'all got that control issue. Y'all need to check yourself on that. Get a grown woman. Stop getting a little baby that you can control. Go sit down somewhere. Stay in your age group if possible. I know you're not. Just a food for thought. Let's move on. It's when you want to do things differently. It's waking up and choosing differently. Choosing to do something differently that day. You can't say, you can only live one day at a time. That's all we can live. But we don't know what the hell tomorrow, if we even gonna be in tomorrow. So we got to live in the day in which we in. What are you going to choose to do differently like today? Or what did you choose to do differently today? If you're in the early phases of recovery or your mental health where you are trying to get it under control, especially your PTSD, your anxiety, and your depression, because people get depressed very easily nowadays, if you've noticed, because you have parents fighting over each other because their kids are choosing the same sex and all that, and it's causing a lot of confrontation with the child or the adult that they want to live their life the way they want, and everybody else has got decisions that they're deciding how they want to be. That is real serious trauma. You're traumatizing that kid. Let them make their own damn choice. We can't be like them clear people wanting to send your child to a psychologist at 6 to 10 years old because you liking the same sex. You don't need to send them to no psychologist like a person. Even a kid knows what they like and don't like. If that's what they like, okay. It's not some kind of disease. They got to stop trying to label one or attracted to the same sex as being a disease. It's not. it causes mental trauma and mental health issues in teenagers and even younger adults going into their 20s when they leave home to go to college and they come back different. You know, your parents, your parents out there, y'all need to accept that. You need to accept it. Especially if that person's not living with you. That's their lifestyle. Let them live their life. That's what they chose. They have a right to choose to live any way they want. Same as substances and addiction. You can choose to do whatever you want in your life. Only thing that I am giving you the information about is ways that if you're over the top, how to deal with it, how to go through process, outcome. You got everything in between is on you. It's having the tools instead of triggering, controlling you. We don't want to control you. We want to just use the tools to help you control yourself and your habits and your behavior. We are doing this is what the process of recovery is, even in trauma. Because women I know in the military they go through a lot of sexual trauma and it affects their life so bad they want to seriously hurt somebody when they get out because they got the skills. You know, they've been trained to be a soldier or marine. Uh, I advise any employers that may be listening to this, you better back up. You know, back up. It's dangerous and it's illegal. Leave them alone. That's what I say about that. And most important, it's understanding yourself. You need to understand yourself if you are going to start this process and you want a specific outcome that works for you. You have to understand yourself. How are you going to fix something if you don't know what your problem is? Now, if you need someone to tell you about your own problem, I don't really have very much information I can give you on that. Help starts with yourself. Recognizing that you have a problem or that there's some issues that you're dealing with that you can't handle mentally, then you need to seek professional help to try to help you to understand what's the matter, what is causing you to do certain things. Did it have something happen in your past that's caused you trauma and it's causing you to not be able to function normally in society? There are a lot of factors dealing. That's why they try to clump them all into mental health because it's so vast of a subject. You know, you're going to have other podcasters on there. All now and all of them, they're coming on there now and talking about, oh, well, now I want to talk about something nobody else wants. Go sit down somewhere. It's been around. Why do you think they have psychologists? They don't think it's being discussed. What it is, it's just the younger generation has to learn about it. And I don't know, some of them may want to listen to somebody younger than them instead of somebody older than them because they think they can relate. There's nothing to relate to. It's all the same on every same at every age level. It's a problem, and you try to find a solution, a process to deal with it, and an outcome of when you've been through the process, the steps in the process to get to that outcome, so that you can feel. You want to bring joy back into your life, happiness back into your life. You can go party. You don't often if you really look at it, I know a lot of people are always saying, "Oh, well, I can't have no fun unless I had several drinks." Why? That's almost getting intoxicated just to have fun. What is your problem? No, you don't. You can still have fun if you only had one drink. You can still have fun. Nobody said you got to have five before you really realize that you in that party mood. Well, only thing you can say to that person is, whatever. Do you, boo, do you? Don't 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 think that I have to consume the same amount to have fun that you do. Because you make your choice, I'll make mine. That's the way you have to see that, people. That's the way you got to see it. If you're listening right now and you're struggling, I want you to understand something. You are not broken. You are in a process. And a process, they take time. They take a lot of time. A lot of time. It's not going to be no quick fix. Don't rush your healing. Don't compare your journey to somebody else's journey. It's only for your journey is only for you. You can't have someone tag along and say, we gonna do this together. No, it's individual. Y'all can go together, but y'all gonna be processing differently and you're gonna have different outcomes. You want the same outcome, but everybody is different. Remember that. Every outcome is not the same for everybody because you don't know what certain people are going through and what they're trying to process, their process of healing. A lot of people don't know what their friend, a brother, a sister, they don't know what's on their mind. If they, especially if they left home, maybe they were incarcerated, you don't know what's on their mind, you know? So don't pretend that you do. Parents, y'all don't pretend you know how someone is. You just know their ways. You don't know how they are mentally. You don't know what's going through their mind. You can't say you know what they're thinking about. There ain't no read, no thoughts. I can read your mind. I know what you're thinking. I know what you get ready to do. No, it doesn't work like that. And the most important thing, if you are going to start this process, don't quit. Do not quit. Keep going. Even if you're in the earliest stages and you find yourself can't stop, don't quit. Try your best to just. A lot of people can't. Some people are really really addicted to a lot of substances, and they can't just stop. You can't just stop. You got to gradually. First of all, you got to figure out that you have a problem with these substances so that you want to quit. But if you don't feel as though you have a problem, there's no way you're going to start in the first place. So how are you going to quit something you never started? You see what I mean? Because the outcome you're looking for is built one step at a time. These are steps, people. It's a lot of them that you're going to have to take. And it's going to take a long time. It's not a short process, especially depending on how far you got, how long you've been doing it, what harm you've done mentally to your mind, to your brain, and how much harm have you done. Then you got your other family members, siblings, friends, co-workers. What about all those people that you hurt, and some of them physically, because of your drinking and substance use, or that you were being, how you were being judgmental against somebody else, and then you the one winding up with your worse problem than them. Got to remember this stuff. You got to remember it. Now, for me, I want to thank you for tuning in to this episode because what I want to do while we still have the rain in the background, we're going to go right into the evening reset. So, what we're going to do now, strap in, strap in, because this, we don't want to just end it quickly like this. I like to give you a reset of your mind. So let's do this. If you're driving right now, if you're stuck in traffic, some people are, some people aren't, or some people are at home. If someone just pulled you, just cut you off, if your patience feels thin, pause with me for a moment. Keep your eyes on the road, but bring your awareness inward. Take a slow breath in and a slow breath out. You've handled things harder than traffic. You face real pressure, real responsibilities, real life and death moments. This is not that. Right now, this is movement, just cars, just noise. Notice your hands on the steering wheel. Are they gripping it tightly? If so, loosen your grip a little. Let your shoulders drop. Uncringe your jaw. Traffic is not a threat. Delay is not disrespect. Someone else's impatience is not your emergency. You are safe. If anger is rising, don't fight it. Just observe it. Say quietly to yourself, I notice I'm feeling tense. I notice I'm feeling irritated. Not that I'm angry, just that I notice. That small shift gives you control back. You are not your reaction. You are the one observing it. Remember, when we leave service, sometimes our nervous system doesn't leave high alert. But some people, when they leave work, if somebody pisses them off at work and they're on high alert, pissed off, it's not easy to try to bring them down or they won't bring themselves down until they try to finish saying what they're saying. They never got to, or getting their point across. Very, very difficult, okay? Traffic can feel like combat readiness. But right now, you are not in combat. You are in your car, on a road, on an ordinary day. Take, take another deep breath. Inhale slowly with a long exhale. Let today's stress milk down your spine. You don't have to carry everything all at once. The bills, the expectations, not the memories, not the pressure to always be strong. Today, strength looks like calm control. Strength looks like choosing not to react. Strength looks like arriving home peacefully. As you continue driving, notice three things around you: the sky, the shape of the road, the rhythm of your engine. Bring your nervous system back to neutral. You are steady. You are grounded. This and you are in control. This moment will pass. Traffic will move. The day will move. Or in this case, the night will move. And you will move through it calmly. Now, this has been Calm for Sleep. But for right now, it's calm. Oh my God. Oh my. Always messing up somebody's broadcast. Uh, Now, this was calm for the road. I want everyone to, you know, see if you can use these tips that you can incorporate in your life. If you need to seek other avenues or more professional help, do so. Do whatever it will take to bring you back to the center. The person you probably say you used to be, or with somebody, well, I don't really listen to anybody else, but a person they think you used to be. No, you're in it for yourself. It don't matter what nobody thinks. I don't care what you think about me. How I feel about me is important. You are your own person. You make your own decisions. If you feel as though you went over the top, then you can take these evasive actions to try to correct your mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Nobody. Uh, you don't have to expect anybody to think that you're perfect. You know, you want to try to move through life as easy as possible, no matter whether it's financial problem, relationship problems, marriage problems, lover problems. Just try to keep a level head and just keep doing your best to keep yourself happy. Joy in life is epitome of life. I'd like to give a shout out to my kids, a shout out to God, uh, shout out to the Muslim brothers, Salam Alaikum, Haitian brothers, uh, Sabase, Chinese don't know that one. Jewish people don't know that one. I'll just say what's up. Uh, that's universal. Everybody knows that one. And for all of the veteran servicemen that I'm proud of, because I'm a proud veteran, you know, I salute you guys. And before I ever leave my episode, I always take a moment of silence for the fallen, no matter if it's servicemen, first responders, everyone alike will just take this moment of silence for the fallen. That's what I say. If you have relatives, parents, or anybody who has fallen this year or any year, we're going to take a moment of silence for the fallen. Now, and I'd like to thank all the listeners or viewers, you know, pass the word on, Maybe they could listen to this later. It might be something, it might be helpful to them. That's all I'm trying to do is be inspirational and informative. I do not, I do my disclaimer. I do not uh, pretend to be no doctor, no psychologist. I am just petty officer, retired service veteran, retired proud veteran is what I am. And with that, I'm going to sign off right now for this episode. What I'll do, because I do need to do me another evening show around, around about 10, because people are more comfortable at home, you know. And I'll go back through uh, my previous, because if some people had missed uh, that episode, I'm going to go back over it. Let me give you the name of that because that one was pretty, pretty deep. You know, um, I'm also going to be pursuing doing retreats for veterans uh, and become a travel advisor. So I'm going to have a lot of tips and places for people to go that I'm going to be going myself. So I'm going to be passing on that information to you also. And if you need assistance through with veteran services or even county government services, I'm getting the right connections. I'm still formulating a lot of connections because I also have my own business. And the podcast is also associated with my business of mental health and addiction recovery for individuals. This is what I do. And I have made a business out of it, not just a podcaster. So when you hear these other guys coming on here, oh something I just heard it feel something somebody normally doesn't. Yeah, whatever, boy. Uh, I just told them go sit down somewhere. But I do thank you so much for tuning in to a veterans and first responders mental health podcast with your host, Petty Officer Upshur from Still Light Studio. I bid you a good, pleasant evening. Be safe. Peace. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I was on 3 different platforms if y'all wanted to know. Because I love helping people. I don't have anything to do. I'm retired. So helping people is my business.